Welcome to Root and Rewire, a grounded, mystical space for awakening, remembering, and becoming. I'm Kayla, and here we explore the shifts, the stories, and the synchronicities that reshape us from the inside out, along with the mystical, the unseen, and the magic that's woven into everyday life. Take a deep breath, soften into yourself, and let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of Root and Rewire podcast. As always, super excited to be here in this safe container with all of you to share what's been on my heart for everyone listening to get something out of my experience and my perspective. Just remember that everything I say may not resonate, but there is always source truth in something. So find what resonates means is find the source truth in what I'm saying for yourself. If you're sparked by something, if you're triggered by something, if you're snapping your fingers at something, okay, there's some realness in there. There's something that you're meant to hear. I normally come into my podcast with a topic that I'm very excited to speak about. And normally the topic is something that I have experienced in my life for the past few weeks, last few days, just something that comes through that's based off of my experience. I normally draft an outline to keep me on track. This was the first day where I sat down to devote time into figuring out what is the topic for the week, what is the lesson. And this was the first time in a while where I didn't actually have anything come through. My guides, my higher self, my ancestors, source, they were like, nothing for you here today. And I kept sitting there like, okay, well, what am I supposed to talk about? Do I just skip this week then and wait for some profound lesson to come through and go from there? But then I found the message, because in that moment, I started to feel pressure. I should be doing more. I should be more prepared. I should have something already. And the funny thing is that exact pressure is part of what inspired this episode for me, because I realized that sometimes the message isn't something we create from our mind. Sometimes the message doesn't come through when we want it, but sometimes it does. And sometimes the message is simply what life is showing us in real time. And today, this past week, these past few weeks, what has life been showing me? Timing, trust, flow, and this deeper concept that's been coming through for me lately is that life is a mirror. Life is always reflecting back to you, not only your inner world, but also the beliefs you are currently operating from. And sometimes it reflects back the parts of you that are ready to change. So today, that is what we're going to talk about. What it actually means when I say that life is a mirror. How to stop seeing yourself as a victim and how to start learning from what is showing up. And how to move back into trust and flow when life feels chaotic or confusing. When people say that life is a mirror, it can sound a little spiritual, fluffy. It's like one of those quotes that you see on Instagram as you're scrolling and you're like, okay, yeah, I resonate with that. Sure. But when I say it, I mean something specific. I don't mean that life is punishing you. And I don't mean that if something hard happens, then it's your fault. I also don't mean that every painful moment is something you manifested, because I don't personally believe that life is that simple in that way. What I mean is, life reflects your inner reality until your inner reality changes. Meaning, the way you respond to life, the patterns you keep repeating, the people you keep attracting, and the situations that keep triggering you, all of that is information. Not condemnation, not shame, not proof that you're broken, but it's information. It's that pulsating, it's that life speaking to you. It's your nervous system speaking to you. It's your subconscious speaking to you. It's your soul saying, hey, something here is ready to be seen. And in a weird but cute way, life is extremely loyal. Life will keep showing you the same lesson in different forms until you learn to integrate it. And that's why sometimes we feel like we're living the same year over and over again. Different people, different places, different circumstances, but the same emotional experience. And that is not because you are cursed. It's because you are being guided. And the sooner we can accept that, the sooner we can stop fighting reality. And the sooner our lives can become clearer. And so I want to give a framework that makes this easier to understand, because sometimes we could think, okay, but how do I know exactly what life is trying to show me? So here are the 3 types of mirrors that I've personally noticed. Mirror number 1 is the emotional mirror. This is the mirror that shows up through your triggers. Something happens and suddenly you're irritated. You're emotional, you're anxious, you're tense. And sometimes it doesn't even match the moment. Like maybe that thing that happened was really small in retrospect, but the reaction that it's generating inside of you feels huge. That is the emotional mirror. Because triggers usually aren't just about what is happening now, they're about what it represents for you. And a trigger can often be a wound. And it can be your body saying that this right here feels unsafe. This feels like abandonment. This feels like rejection. This feels like I am not in control. So in order to understand the emotional mirror, the question is, what is this stirring up inside of me? Not, how do I fix it? How do I get rid of it? How do I numb myself to this feeling? But instead, what is waking up inside of me? The second mirror is the pattern mirror. This one is one of my favorites because it is so obvious once you see it. This is when you notice that you keep experiencing the same kind of situation, but with different characters. It could be the same relationship dynamic over and over, the same friendship type over and over, the same work stress energy, the same financial cycle, the same emotional highs and lows. It is not random. The pattern mirror is life saying to you, I'm going to show you this constantly, consistently, in so many different areas of your life until you learn what you need to learn. And then we can move on. So the question with the pattern mirror is, what is this? What is repeating? What keeps coming back? Because what is repeating is what is important. That is the message. The next mirror is the body mirror. So far we've had the emotional, the pattern, and now we have the body. This mirror is really deep because this is when your body starts communicating with you. Digestion, fatigue, PMS, anxiety, tight chest, burnout, skin flare-ups. Your body is a mirror of your inner safety. When you feel unsafe, your body will begin to speak to you. And in the lessons I've learned my past few weeks is that this is also very true with animals. Your pets absorb your energy and your home energy. They are connected to you. They reflect the home environment. So the question with the body mirror is, what is my body asking me to hear? Not, what is wrong with me? Not, why can't I get it together? Not, why am I looking this way? But what is my body communicating? Because as we've spoken about before, the body is intelligent. And when we really aim the focus on the issue, we can get to the root of what the body is signaling to you. I really wanted to share a couple of personal experiences and examples because this isn't just theory for me. This is something that I'm actively living. One of the biggest mirrors in my life recently has been work. And my job has been showing me who I am when I'm not choosing myself. The past few weeks, my work life has been so chaotic. I am a general manager during my day job, which means my hours are all the time. I'm working basically all the time whenever I'm needed. Whatever the situation calls for, I'm working. And because I spend so much of my time in my job, this is why the mirror was so big for me. And this is why life decided to make this my mirror, because I cannot ignore it. And I work in a field that is mostly for part-timers. So you can imagine the turnover, you can imagine the stress, the drama. All of this is every day for me. This is normal occurrence. This is nothing that's new. But lately, the experiences have been so random and so significant for me. For example, a group of people leaving at one time. Not just one or two, like 4 or 5 or 6. People deciding as a group to not come into work. Not just 1 or 2, but 3 to 4 to 5. The customer service stress, the amount of angry, frustrated, difficult customers that I've had to experience. And over the last few weeks, this has been progressing. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, hold on. Obviously, there's something to be said here. This is not just happening to me. This is happening for me. There is a lesson here. There is a vibrational match that I am not seeing. When I got down to the root of it, it was showing me, like I said, who I am when I am not choosing myself. It showed me how I abandon myself, how I keep giving and giving and giving because I'm devoted, but I'm not devoted to me. And it was like life was asking me, are you going to keep living in survival devotion? Or are you going to step into true devotion? Devotion to self, devotion to truth, devotion to what actually feels aligned. Because there is a difference between sacrificing yourself and serving from overflow. And I realized that in this mirror within my job, that my soul is here for pure devotion, not the kind that drains me, the kind that anchors me. And that mirror showed me how much I was putting myself on the back burner, how I was rushing through the times that I dedicated to myself to get to my job. I wasn't blocking enough time for myself. And because of my job, there are no set hours. So I really had to get real with myself and create hours for myself. You're not working until 9:30. You're done at 7:30. And of course, there are circumstances that can make me work before or after, but generally, I had to get strict for myself and really, truly slow myself down in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening when I gave myself time to be with myself and really shut off those work thoughts about what needs to get done. What do I need to do next? What am I not doing in this moment? Shut it off. And the mirror helped me to realize that putting myself first is not selfish. Putting myself first is so sacred. Because when I put myself last, not only do I lose my power, but other people put me last. Other people begin to treat me with the vibration and the code that I'm putting out into the world. And as if it couldn't get any louder, example number 2. After I was able to get real with myself when it came to my job and really explore the mirror, another mirror began, and it was my digestion. And even my dog, Mila, was getting sick out of nowhere. Not different food that I was feeding, wasn't really eating things outside. She normally eats grass, but wasn't really eating anything outside. Nothing new to her diet. But she was replicating the same digestion that I was having. And it was alarming. And at first I was totally freaked out. And it could have been one of those moments where I told myself, why is this happening? This is so annoying, waking up at 3 a.m. Life just keeps throwing things at me. I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. But I paused and asked myself, what is this showing me? What is Mila picking up on that is in my energetic field? And for me, digestion is always connected to control. It's connected to stress, to pressure, to holding too much, not slowing down, not feeling right or feeling safe in my body. Mila getting sick made me look around and see what energy has been in the house. What energy have I been carrying? Because our animals are a reflection of us. So instead of seeing it as random, I saw it as life asking me to return to my body, to slow down, to regulate, to stop forcing. And when you start listening like that, your entire life changes. Because nothing is just happening for the sake of happening. Everything is revealing. I was able to get neutral enough to make a guided decision on what is practical to help her and me in this scenario. And for me, the reflection was that there is something not digesting right within me. There is something that does not belong, that I am not seeing. There is something that I'm just thinking to myself, okay, it's fine. But my body knows that it is not right. And I really had to start to sit with myself and my soul to understand what is the overall theme. Something isn't digesting right, but what is it? I want to give you some sort of process that you can use when something happens. Because it's easy to say that life is a mirror, but how do we actually begin to apply it? And here are some things that you can do. Step number 1, what happened? What is happening? State the facts, not a story, not the drama, just the facts. What is it activating in me is step number 2. What did you feel? Anger, fear, sadness, disappointment, pressure, shame, insecurity. Step number 3, what belief is underneath the emotion? Maybe it's, I'm not supported. I'm alone. I have to do everything. I am not safe. I don't matter. The list goes on. Step number 4, what pattern is this connected to? Have you felt this before? Is this familiar? Even if the situation looks different. Step number 5, what is the lesson? What is life trying to teach you through this? Maybe the lesson is boundaries, slowing down, trust, choosing yourself, self-respect, letting go of control. And I don't think the lesson is complicated. Life isn't here to complicate things. Life is here to make it simple. And the lesson is usually something like stop abandoning yourself. Stop allowing others to jump through your boundaries. Set up some boundaries. Slow yourself down. Please feel free to pause, go back and write these steps down so that you can begin to implement this and integrate this yourself. This part is huge. This is where I feel most people get stuck because this is where I got stuck. And if you're not careful, you will interpret life through victimhood because victim mode says, why is this happening to me? I cannot catch a break. Nothing ever works out. Everyone is always disappointing me. It's always something. And listen, I am not judging because the victim mode is usually a trauma response. And it's the nervous system trying to make sense of pain. But stepping into empowered mode, it says something different. Empowered mode says, what is this showing me? Where am I being invited to grow even more? What am I learning? What needs to change inside of me? And how can I meet this with awareness? And when you live in a state of empowerment, life doesn't feel like an attack. Life feels like a teacher. And you don't have to fear what happens anymore because you know that everything has a meaning. Even the hard stuff, especially the hard stuff. So if you're driving right now, don't close your eyes. But if you're home or you're walking or you're laying down, I invite you to take a deep breath with me. Inhale. Exhale. And ask yourself, what has been showing up in my life lately? What keeps happening? What keeps activating me? What keeps making me feel on edge? And now ask yourself, what emotion do I keep feeling? Anxiety, pressure, sadness, anger? What belief is underneath that emotion? Ask yourself, what is the story that I'm holding? And then finally, the last question, what is life trying to teach me right now? And I want you to just sit with that. Because even if the answer doesn't come to you immediately, your soul already knows. And once you start asking yourself this, life starts responding to you differently. Because now you're no longer asleep. You're no longer reacting unconsciously. You are now in the conversation with life. And this is what it's about. It's about getting in flow with the nature around us. And I want to leave you with this reminder. Life is not happening at you. Life is happening with you. And the goal isn't to control everything. The goal is to flow with what's real. To stop forcing, to stop resisting, to stop telling yourself that something should not be happening. And instead asking, okay, this is happening. How do I meet this? How do I learn from this? How do I let this shape me into who I am becoming? Because once you do, you will see that your life begins to blossom. It won't happen overnight, but you'll notice it. You'll feel clearer, you'll feel calmer, you'll trust yourself more, and your path becomes clearer and clearer and clearer because you're no longer walking it from fear. You're walking it from truth. Getting out of the state of seeing yourself as a victim is so important because victimhood is clouding us. We are here with a purpose. There is a reason for being here. And we will never be able to reach or attain that if we aren't getting real with ourselves, if we aren't holding ourselves accountable and learning the lessons that life is trying to show you. And I'm saying this to you, but I'm saying this to me because it is so easy to look at life like it's difficult. And it's so easy to look at it from a state of, why does this happen? Why does this keep happening to me? I'm tired. But the difficult route is the route to take here, and allowing yourself to sit with the situation, to sit with the circumstances of life, to reveal the bigger picture, to reveal the wound beneath, to stop acting from the inner child. Life has been reflecting a lot to me lately. And a lot of hands and knees moments I've had. Moments of surrender where even today I sat with myself and I'm like, it's time to get radically honest. It's time. I'm over it. I'm over seeing myself in this way. Because there's truth here and life wants me to express. It wants me to create. It wants me to help. And I can't do that if I'm clouding myself. Okay. Let's close with a short affirmation. You can repeat this out loud, or you can just let it land in your heart. I trust life to guide me. I trust myself to listen. I release victimhood. I choose flow. I allow clarity to unfold in perfect divine timing. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I look forward to coming here again, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Thank you so much for your support and tuning in today. If this episode supported you and you would like to share, or if you're just looking for someone to connect with, you can find me on Instagram at Soil and Soul Sister. I hope to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. And until next time.